Hello everybody out there, this is Evan, your friend in some really exciting tutorials. Today I will show you a fantastic trick, a fantastic photo manipulation in Photoshop that probably will transform your imagination first of all, because you will be thinking differently after this lesson, and of course you will be able from now on to recreate fantastic things over your original photos. So we will take a normal window photo and we will make it look warm and sunny and romantic, because who can live without romance and summer and warm environment generally. So it is a really good tutorial, a very good tutorial to learn the basics of photo manipulation. And of course we will create this final result really fast with the help of 2-3 images and of course some really nice techniques in Photoshop. Well, the only thing you have to do is to see the first photograph. So I will go here, I will hit the Alt and click. You see that? This is my first photo, my start photo, and this is my end photo. You see that I did so many things inside here. All the things that I did, I will show you in the next minutes. So prepare yourself and get ready to create magic in Photoshop, because Photoshop is a magic thing. I go to my first photograph. I need more photos. I need actually 2 more photos. I have the first one and 2. I need the notes, okay, and also the derbies, the pieces that they will mimic the dust for when the sun hits a window. You understand what I'm talking about? Sure. So first of all, I will start with my window. I go back to Photoshop. Of course, I opened this photograph with Photoshop and I will start recreating the whole thing over here. The only thing I need is actually I will start with a window. With a window on the wall. You see that? Here and here. Really easy, really fun stuff. I go close to the window. Okay, I will take this tool, the rectangular marquee tool, the thing that, you know, selects. Of course, we have to have feather 0 pixels. And I will go here and I will create that box for the window. Okay, great. Afterwards, I will create a new layer. I will go here and I will rename this one as main scene, main window scene. And I will go here and I will name this window box. Okay. Afterwards, I will actually invert my colors. I will select the white. I will go to my paint bucket, which is hidden right here. You see that? Paint bucket. And I will paint this area with white. I will click, boom. And it's done. Check this out. I have only that. You see that? Okay. I have it on a separate layer because I need to work a little with those little boxes. Afterwards, I will go and I will select this window box and I will create a duplicate. I will drag and drop this little layer over the new icon. Great. And then I will hit the click and drag and I will hold the shift in order to position this right on the next, you see, on the next side of the upper window. Afterwards, I will hold both of those and again I will drag and drop them on the new layer, and then I will take them and I will position them right underneath. If you have a problem with a white, because you know we have a white window and white duplicates, we can paint those with another color, or actually I can reduce the opacity of this one so we can understand what is going on here. You see that? I think the window looks fantastic, my new window, and I'm ready for the next step. I will go now. I will select both of them. I will hit the first box and with shift and click I will select the 4 of them, and I will go and create a group with the keyboard shortcut, which is Command and G in Macintosh, Control G on PC, on Windows. Great. I will name this window boxes. Great. And I will create again a duplicate of this folder. Again, I will drag and drop this one on the new. Great. And I will go then and I will right click and select merge group. So right now we have separate parts of the window. You see that? And also we have a full, you see, part of the window on a separate layer again. Again, I will turn on my main scene And now it's time to position this actually windows over the walls. Of course, we don't really have to play with distortion and perspective inside here. We will use a fantastic filter inside Photoshop for that. So the only thing that I have to do is control and click, command click in Macintosh. Great, you see that? And right after, I will go and copy this layer, this selected layer. I go edit and copy. Afterwards, I will go to select and deselect, and then I will go and create a new layer. I will name this layer window on the wall. And now I have to position my copy, the window boxes copy, on the wall, but I want to position this on perspective. So I will use a fantastic filter in Photoshop that it will do the whole job for me. I select the new layer, the new empty layer. I have already copied, if you remember correct, the window boxes copy. I select here and I go to filter and vanishing point. Great. The vanishing point actually is a mini program inside Photoshop that will help us recreate dimensions inside our photographs. You see that? It's a really application inside Photoshop. A new environment with new tools over here. Don't get scared, it's really easy to put things on perspective. So I will zoom out, control and minus. Great. I need to have some space around in order to create my wall, and the only thing that I have to do is to take my first tool, this little square with some lines. It's like a cross with a box. I click and I will recreate this wall. You see that? That's all that I have to do. Great. Now, if you have a red stroke, this is bad. We have to go and click and drag until we will get a blue stroke. Of course, I hope that we will get a blue stroke in a while. Sometimes it gets more, sometimes, you see that? It gets blue, so we are okay, we're good to go. And now I will go and I will paste my copied window boxes. So Control V, Command V in Macintosh. You see that? Afterwards, you see that I have my window over here. And of course, it is in perspective or on perspective, I don't really know. But now it is looking like it's on this wall. Afterwards, I will go here, I will select the transform tool, and I will make my window a little bit smaller. Great, and a little bit maybe wider and smaller again, who knows. Great, and I think that we have a very good reproduction of our window. And of course, if I will hit the OK button, our new window is here on perspective over and inside the window on the wall, the new layer. Remember, a new empty layer now is filled with this effect. This is great. Afterwards, I will change the blend of this layer. I will actually blend, I will mix this layer with the background. So I will go and change this one to overlay. You see that? Now I can really see behind, I can see the wood. Before I wasn't able to see that. You see that? So overlay, it will blend better. And of course I need to have the opacity at about 50%. I don't want so strong reproduction of the window, you see that? And afterwards, the only thing that I have to do is to blur this window just a tiny bit because it's really sharp right now. You see that? Really sharp. So I will go and filter and blur and Gaussian blur. I need a blurring at about 5 pixels, you see that? Check that before. And now, huge difference. Now it actually blends great with the wall and the whole scene. Hit OK, and our left actually reproduction is ready. Now I will duplicate that. I will go and hit the edit and free transform tool. See that? And then right click and flip horizontal. And right away we have the other window. You see that? The other wall actually, not window. Great, really easy. I will hit the apply and then I will go and put both of those on a group. So Control G. I will name this side windows. Windows. Great. And now I have to recreate a light that comes from the outside environment over this new window on the walls. So I will go, and I need just the one, or actually all of those boxes that I have created. You remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the cutted boxes, and I will actually transform them in order to make them, touch this window, or I can just redraw them again. So let's do it again. It's no problem. It's really easy anyway. I will select the new one, and I will make it better probably. I will take now the polygonal lasso tool. You see this little tool that creates selections with polygon. See that? Really easy. I will go now, and I will select this area, the left side of the window, this one, and I will go now, and I will actually recreate that. I will go here, and then I will actually put that. Great. So I actually creating a selection on perspective right now. You see that? Great. And we're done. We have the half of the window selected, and now the only thing that I have to do is to create a new layer, and I will name it left window shine. Let's name it left window shine, and afterwards I will take my bucket and I will paint it inside here. You see that? Really good. Control D for deselect, and afterwards I will hide this one. I will create a new layer. I will name this left window shine 2 for the lower part of the window, and I will take again the polygonal. I will go and click and click and click and click, and then click, and again I will select the lower part of this window. Great. And of course I will paint this again with white. And now we only have to recreate the same thing for the right part. So I will go to select, deselect, and I will go and create the new set, which will be the right window shine 1, or without a name, without a number actually, and then I will take my polygonal and I will recreate the same thing for the new layer. So go here and paint that. I will select now the only one part of all those shines, and I will apply some effects. The first effect it will be is to create, actually to change some effects. So I will go and I will apply some effects, select the filter and go to blur and go to Radial Blur and choose the Radial Blur, the center point, zoom, and good, 100%, the full of this effect. Hit OK. You see that? Right away we have a wonderful mix. We have a wonderful actually blend of my shine with the wall. Great. And we're not ready yet. I will have to lower this part at about 70, let's say, and then I will go and apply a Gaussian blur. But before I will do that, I will apply this effect, because it is already pre-recorded in the history of filters, to the other parts, let's say the shine 2. You see that already. I will go then to the other one. I will hit the history filtered, which is the Radial Blur, and we're good to go. We will lower them, all of those, to 70. I will select all of those and I will lower this one at about 70. And you see that? Really, really great. And afterwards I will go and I will put another filter. I will use the Gaussian blur, the good old Gaussian blur. And of course I will use a radius at about 15 or so. You see that? I think it is great. And of course I will use the same effect to the other ones. I can also use my keyboard shortcut, which is Control F, Command F in Macintosh. Okay, and we have a wonderful effect right now. Afterwards I will select these window boxes. You remember those? I will put them or in front for start, let's say, from the other part of the windows, and I will go to filter, blur, and Radial Blur. I will hit the Radial Blur at full settings again. Of course, you see my window now that it's been transformed to something different. And of course, I will use the same filter again. And my effect goes out again, you see that? Looks great. And afterwards, I will use again a blur to kind of blur the whole effect. But not so big, at about 10 I think it will be enough for me. This is great, and now maybe I will actually lower those at about 50%. At about 50%. So let's just lower the opacity at about 50. I want to see the shine, but not so strong. I think it will look and feel better that way. And of course here I will just select both and I will hit the 5. And actually when you have selected the bucket, it goes like that. It changes this opacity, but if I click this one and hit the 5, it will affect the opacity of the layers. So now I think we're done. We have a wonderful set of shines and windows inside our new scene. Check the old original scene. Boring. Great. And then we will go and add more stuff. So now I will add actually the notes, the musical notes. I will copy them. Right click, copy image. I will go to Photoshop and I will go to edit, paste. And of course I will go to edit. I will select the free transform and I will actually transform this one to the dimensions of my scene. Hit OK. I will actually go to probably I will use, I think, another blend. Let's say the hard light or so. You see that? And I will lower the opacity at about 10%. I just want this soft effect to be applied on my photograph. Wonderful. And of course I will put that below the shine. So now it looks even more small. You see that? Even more faded away. Great. And afterwards we will import the derbies, the dust, let's say. I copy this. I will put it inside my photograph. Control V as paste. You see that? Really wonderful effect. And then I will call this derbies. And I will right click, blending options, and I will go here and select the color overlay. Now all my parts, they have the same color. You see that before I had black, gray and white. Now I have all grays. I will go to more to the white. You see that? Great. And hit OK. And hit OK. And then I will go, and of course I have to create a blur of this effect, of these pieces of the dust. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. I think at about 10 to 15, you see how wonderful it looks right now. I think at about 15, I think also at about 10 it looks okay. Maybe 12, okay. Hit OK, and then we can actually go to edit, free transform, and enlarge this one, so we can you know, send our dust pieces all over the room. And of course send this derbies layer right above the notes layer. So the main light actually hides the derbies, and of course the derbies are in the back of the shine. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. The next step is the color actually adjustment layer. We will have to change the color of this scene to make it more warm and more romantic. So we go and select the color balance. Of course this adjustment has to be above all, and of course here we will affect the midtones, the shadows and the highlights of this photograph, and we will create a new and really warm effect. I will actually turn this, I will start from top to bottom. I will start from the midtones and I will play until I will get a nice warm. You see that if I go to the cyan, I get a more cold, not so good, not so easy and romantic environment. But if I go to the red, you see that it goes better. And then with the yellow, it goes much more better. You see that? And of course here, I think at about -5. So let's just try to be specific -20 for the red, -5 for the green, and -35 for the yellow. Great. And then we go to the shadows. We affect the shadows right now. You see that? It goes better. I know that many people like the Lightroom instead of Photoshop because you think that Lightroom can do maybe enough for you, but Photoshop is really an exciting tool, and I don't really know what I should do if the Photoshop wasn't around. But thank God it is around and we are good. So now for the shadows, -5, -10, -10, and then we go to highlights and play with highlights. Of course, now we will affect the strong whites of the photograph. I think I need at about 10, +10 for the red. The magenta and green has to stay, I think, at about 0, and the yellow should be affect my photograph more, just a tiny bit, at about -5. Check my photo before, please. You see that? Check my photo afterwards. You see that? Wonderful effect. Now my photo is warm and really, really great. Afterwards, I will create a light from the sun hitting the lens of my photograph, of my camera actually. And so I will create that by hitting the new layer. I will name this lens flare, and I will paint this with black. I will change the blend to screen, so we'll erase at once the black of this layer, and then I will go to filter. I will select here the render and lens flare, and right after I will find the position for my flare. You see that? Wonderful. And then I think the brightness, it is okay, and I will use 105mm prime. Hit OK. And of course this lens, if you actually move this one, you see that we have a wonderful lens over here, and I will put this over there, so I will have this wonderful effect passing through. Great. If you don't really like this blue tone here, no problem, we can actually erase that, but not yet. Actually now I have to make this whole layer blurry, so we'll go to filter, blur, and Gaussian Blur, and now I will use, of course, a lower amount of radius at about, I should say, 2.5 or maybe 1.5. You see that? Great. Hit OK, and we're good to go. This is great. And now you can realize that here I have some parts. You see that? I can see the lower part and the upper part of this layer. Check this out. You see that? I can see that it is really bright. So I have to do, and I can do two things. First of all, I can create a mask, and I think the flare is written with without the A. Let's see, without the I. Sorry about that. Yes. So sorry. So now we can create a mask, or actually we can right click, blending options, and then I will select the blend if gray. I will actually try and use this slider. You see that actually I erase this part, but it doesn't look really good. You see that? It looks really ugly. So I have to break this slider in half, and I will do it with the same trick. I will hold the Alt option in Macintosh and click the right spot of this slider. You see that? Now it's broken, and now I can create a much more smooth result. You see that? Great. And of course now I can take this more inside, and now it looks great. Now I have only the flare. Hit OK. And we're really close to the end of this tutorial. The next part, it will be to create a vignette on the photograph. So a new layer, I will create a vignette name, okay, and then I will go and paint that with black. Afterwards I will go to select the elliptical marquee tool, and then I will go and apply a feather at about 50 pixels or so, maybe more if you like. And afterwards I will drag that kind of an egg, let's say. Great. And then I will just delete that, hitting the delete button. Control D for deselect, And of course now I can just lower the opacity and have a wonderful effect. So this is it more or less. If I remember correct, this is it. Maybe I can increase more some lights in here, because now I have a really more light, because I used also a selective color adjustment layer. So let's just try that. I go here and I will create this selective color, and now I can go to the blacks, let's say, and make them more dark if I like. You see that? Every adjustment has a purpose in Photoshop. I will go to the neutral and adjust the neutrals. You see how I can actually import light. I think at about here it will be okay, and then I can make it more yellow, and then I can stay here. And for the whites they will be much more strong, or not. I think they can stay here. And you see now that I just play. You see, it's not such a serious stuff. You just play and you create magic things. It's all about trying out and see what looks better for you. I think in reds I can go -40 for the black, and of course here the yellows should go there and there and there, and I think we're good to go. And of course I can put the selective color below the color balance, and it looks better, I think. You see? And we're done. So we used to be like that, and now we're like that inside Photoshop with really easy adjustments and really easy trick. Now, because we have all those layers, everything is alive. We can actually go here and reduce this opacity, so we have lower opacity for the lower windows. You see, it's not something that it is stable and that we cannot do anything about. We can do whatever we like here now, so it's no problem. Maybe I can put all those adjustments above all. Great. And I think now it looks much more better. And I think the derbies should be a little more lower. Great. At about 70. And the left and right window shine they can be actually not the shine, but the box, the side windows, they should be a little more lower, something like that, at about 40%. You see that we have alive layers, so we can edit them and recreate the whole thing. So that was the tutorial. I hope that you liked it, and I hope that now you can start and create magic inside Photoshop. Thank you for watching. Of course, if you like this tutorial, please like the tutorial, and of course please subscribe for more. I am Evan. I'm your friend in some really exciting tutorials, and of course I will be back really soon. Have fun!